Whoa. Imagine a woman forcibly taken onto an escape flight, ready to take off again. The repairman excitedly fixed the network, and everyone saw the news online. Beardo is shocked the three soldiers' bizarre fake identity, war criminals. He tells Kelly, "These guys did bad things before and are now sneaking in, it's insane." While talking, the tall guy suddenly barged in. Luckily, he didn't notice anything odd. He drank and left. Beardo suggested dropping the soldiers too risky. Kelly was in a real bind, pondering if human life was more important, while the repair room accidentally overheard their discussion. Suddenly, a war criminal lost control, aimed at the influencer's hidden booze, wanting a drink. The team refused. That was her sample, but the war criminal didn't care about that. It was like his mouth went rogue, and an old man freaked out. The old man thought it was gunfire and tried to open the door to escape, which sent everyone into a frenzy. The war criminal shoved him, and the old man ended up out. Everyone blamed that guy for murder, but he thought he was saving the day. However, opening the door on a plane. What a joke. Beardo stepped in to check it out, and that guy was as jumpy as a bird, instinctively pulling a weapon on Beardo. His buddies came over to calm him down. "Don't be nervous, this is the captain. Quick, change the bandages." They explained the situation to the captain in a language the war criminals wouldn't understand. Soon, they arrived at the next stop, and the captain decisively organized everyone to look. "You three war criminals are on the hunt for the radio." But these guys weren't fools. They immediately asked why it was just the three of them. Little V hurriedly explained that the signs were in English, and only they could read them, but the three were cautious and insisted on dragging the repairman and flight attendant with them. To avoid suspicion, the captain agreed. Witnesses saw the cruelty. The old man fell. The cockpit man was odd. The young students in the school bus looked peaceful, as if they'd just left this world. Through their words, the captain revealed the criminals' identities to everyone. He briefly outlined his plan. Next, they'd scour for fuel and food, and once they returned, they'd take off. But things were not that simple. The repairman tricked the three into a room as planned, but to his surprise, the flight attendant refused to leave with him. In a critical moment, the repairman had no choice but to run away. The trio busted out and opened fire on his car, but he managed to escape. They chased the repairman frantically. The flight attendant screamed, "Too late, just waiting." "Hey there, Auntie, we have something important to share over here." Jim hurried to the plane, telling Beardo the flight attendant missed it. Everyone's in a rush, no time to waste. The plane moved. Captain wanted to stop for attendant, but soldiers outside were firing away. Stopping spells disaster. The captain must power up and take off. The plane speeds up, leaving soldiers behind. Only the soldier who had shoved the old man was still holding out when suddenly, a passenger noticed something was wrong. The plane's window had already been hit by a bullet. He tried to stop the takeoff, but it was too late. The captain rushed over to check, suggesting that it was shot while the soldiers were chasing the plane. Surprisingly, he didn't take any emergency. He made passengers sit near the crack, making them uneasy. They feared being sucked out. But the major didn't like it, standing up and berating the captain. "The sun has mutated. We're all doomed. We're all equal in the dark, so all decisions must be voted on." The captain insisted he had to be responsible for the passengers' safety, while the major just laughed it off. Hearing the threat, the captain got angry and wanted to tease the major, seeing if he dared to challenge the only pilot. As the two stood off, an alarm sounded in the cockpit. The captain rushed to check, but couldn't figure it out. The alarm vanished, confusing them. After checking, it sounded again. The captain realized it wasn't a false alarm. Someone tampered with the wires. Kelly was shocked to climb into a plane at 1,000 meters. But then both of them felt a chill run down their spines. The only one who could get in was that soldier who had chased the plane. If the enemy sabotaged the wiring, the plane was doomed. The situation was dire. The captain lifted altitude. He deployed the landing gear to freeze the soldier, but the soldier wasn't dead, hitting cabin passengers first. The sudden increase in cabin pressure exceeded the window's limit. The black girl wanted to find the fix, but the next second, the glass shattered. The plane started to become unstable, and oxygen masks dropped. Everyone clutched them like lifelines, frantically putting them on. The captain quickly stowed away the landing gear, rapidly lowering the altitude, but the turbulence didn't ease much at all. Repairman Jim hurriedly found a metal sheet, blocked the window, temporarily averting disaster. But bad news always follows. Boy with lung issues lost his oxygen tube. His mother tried to guide him as he struggled to breathe, but it wasn't a long-term solution. Beardo had an idea. He cut the oxygen pipe and poked 2 holes with a knife, solving the problem. The boy could finally use it properly, and his mother sighed in relief, casting a grateful glance at Beardo. But it wasn't over. The major blamed the captain for misjudging the window's strength. The captain wanted to defend, but the facts spoke louder. Finally, the captain had no choice but to return to the cockpit, as the soldier was still alive, and the alarm continued blaring. Kelly asked what to do next, and the captain suddenly had a bold idea. cut through the floor to access a landing gear and take out the soldier. The major and 3 soldiers armed with blowtorches cut the floor for an opening, tension soaring. But inside was pitch black, they couldn't see a thing. As the major relaxed, suddenly a hand shot out and snatched away his weapon. If you enjoyed this thrilling yet humorous story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.